Hey guys, how you doing? Happy Friday to you. This is the Academy Answers podcast, and this is where we talk about happiness, success, full potential. We talk about life and business and creating the life that you want, the one that you dream of, the one that resonates with you, the one that you feel in your spirit you're meant to live. That life that always comes up in your consciousness and make you feel like you're alive. That fantasy, that dream, that whatever you want to call it, that you know within your heart of heart that is the only way that you would be happy. And we talk about the fact, the absolute fact that you are capable of creating it, that God has not placed a desire on your heart. Whatever you believe in, whichever your God is, I'm not here to talk about that or to convince you on that. But just know that you were not wired with a desire, that you have not been given the ability to create, manifest, and bring to a reality in your life. And that is proven over and over again in the human experience, that we as human beings, as long as we have our faculties together, forget the physicals, because we see people in wheelchairs, we see blind people, we see all type of people with physical disabilities, still finding a way to cultivate that which they have been given. So this morning I wanted to give you a lesson, but I'll give you the story before I give you the lesson. So I grew up with my grandmother, and you will hear me talk about my grandma a lot, because all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I feel like Thomas Jefferson, who said, or Lincoln, it was who said that all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe it to my grandmother and my mother. And my grandmother was a farmer, and we had this farm 3 miles away from where we lived, and we used to walk there on a Friday. I go with her on most days. She go by herself during the week when I was in school. In the summertime and the holiday time, I would go with her. But there's something that I learned from her, and she was always going to that farm at least 3 times a week, and 4 times a week, and the other times she would go to the nearer farm. She has about 3 farms, one like close to home, and 2 of them were very far from home, like 3 miles each. And we would stand on that farm on any given day, and grandma would have a project that she would be completing, whether it is that she was planting yams, planting corns, cleaning, plowing, whatever it is that she has that she was doing. On any given day, when she looked into the sky, she would sometimes, or she would often see rain in the forecast, because she could read the clouds very well. And she would be like, the rain is going to come today. I'm trying to make it home before the rain. So there was this part on the journey that we call Pen Hill. Other parts before Pen Hill, leading up to Pen Hill, there would be places that you could stop to shelter. Under a rock, at somebody's house, near somebody's shop, somewhere that you could stop to get a shelter from if the rain was coming. But on Pen Hill, there's no way to get a shelter. So when she read those clouds and predict that the rain was coming, 99% of the time it was coming, because she knew what she was doing. And she would be reading those clouds, and she would be saying aloud for most of the day that I'm trying to get to over Pen Hill before this rain comes. And then the thunder started to come up, and there was thunder and there was lightning, and she would still be saying, I'm trying to get out of here and get over Pen Hill before this rain comes. But she never left. And the only reason why she never left was because she wasn't finished what she was doing. Time after time again, because of that same not leaving until it's finished, we would leave out just before the rain, and when the rain came pelting down, we would be right at the foot of penil, and we would get a proper dosing of water and of rain and of pelping going up penil, fully soaked down to our underwear with the load we're carrying on our heads, because we would carry home ground provision for dinner and for the weekend, and we would have to go over penil in that heavy pelping rain because there's nowhere to shelter. Even though she knew that we would get this pelping, it's uncomfortable, it's tough, but she would not leave until she was finished what she was doing. Now, the lesson in that is that finishing her project was the priority. Finishing what she was doing was the priority. And although the hardship was glaring, was evident, was waiting in the wings, she was not prepared to put the avoidance of that hardship before the completion of her project. She had the priority as the project, and she was willing to suffer through that hardship time and time again so she could finish the project that she set out to finish. And I watched her doing that over and over and over again. And it's a strong lesson in tenacity. It's a strong lesson in priorities. Get your priorities right. Know what you want most. And even if it means some pain, even if it means the pelping in the rain, even if it means hardship, even if you can see those hardship in the wings, in the future, in the near future, you can see it coming, you know what it is, you know how uncomfortable it feels. Push through your tasks. Go for your hardship. Go for your goal. Go for your project. Because the project is your priority. So whatever it is that you have today, that you know that you need to get done, whatever it is you have this week, whatever it is you have this month, whatever you have this year, it might be tough. You might know that the hardship is going to come. You might know that traffic is going to get you. You might know that the interest is going to add onto your credit card and you're going to have to pay it. You might know all these things. You can tell, you can predict it. But don't put the avoidance of pain, the avoidance of hardship, don't place that in front of the main priority, which is completing the task that you set out to do. Because that result, that productive outcome that you need is more rewarding than avoiding the hardship of that you can foresee coming in the future. Thank you guys. Wanted to give you that short lesson this morning. It was on my mind. I was thinking about it as I was taking a shower this morning. I wanted to share it with you. Thank you guys. Always a pleasure. Have a good one.